The number of independent women is on the rise in America, but what about the missing men? More than 7 million men ages 25 to 54 have dropped out of the workforce just this past year. So what's the disconnect, and what does it teach us? Let's ask daughter of Jordan Peterson and podcast host Mikhaila Peterson. Mikhaila, thank you very much for being here. So let's start with that question. Why are less men participating in the workforce than just a few years ago?
I think there's a number of reasons. I think the increase in mental illness plays a role. So 50% of people will be diagnosed with a mental illness at some point in their lifetime. And that's got to contribute to men dropping out of the workforce. But the other things that could possibly contribute would be the media's portrayal of men for the last 20 years. They show men as these bumbling fools, and that's got to be hard on men's confidence generationally. And then I think one thing that people don't talk about at all is the birth control pill. And I think that's majorly impacting relationships between men and women negatively. So women, and this has been shown to be true, women choose more feminine men when they're on the pill. And for some reason, people aren't talking about that. That's crazy. That could impact people generationally easily.
So it's almost as if, no, it's great. It's really fascinating. So if as women get more independent and are in the workforce, does that mean men feel less valued as a result? And so consequentially, those types of tough jobs or being in the labor force is not as significant as it was before?
I don't know. I think that people think that the problem is women in the workforce, and I don't actually think the issue is women in the workforce. I think it's more likely that birth control is playing a role and impacting the relationships between men and women negatively, more than women being in the workforce. And that's not even a problem we can solve.
Because families aren't forming and people are staying single longer, and so roles don't develop in ways that traditionally had fortified both men and women.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, in order to have children, women need to feel comfortable and safe with a masculine man. Otherwise, why are they going to want to have kids? And so we have women on birth control choosing feminine men and then not wanting to have children. And this is in the literature. This isn't a conspiracy theory. You can look in the scientific papers. So I think that plays a major role.
And then men feel less valuable. And when you feel less valuable, you're less likely to work as hard as you did in the past, especially when those toxic jobs aren't seen as positively as they were in the past. It's fascinating. There's a lot to it.
Oh,
go ahead.
Oh,
last
definitely.
word.
Yeah. No, definitely. The fact that masculinity is now seen as toxic means that the people that women are attracted to, masculine men, are seen as toxic. And that's just confusing everyone. It's confusing men because they don't want to be masculine because they don't think that's what women like. And then it's confusing women because they don't have anyone to be attracted to. It's a disaster.
It is a disaster. Mikhaila Peterson, thank you so much for breaking that down. Really interesting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.